What's up, all day fam? All right, so we're gonna get straight to it. Okay, I want to keep y'all updated on all the NFL news from my last couple videos up to today, which is August 26th. And I thank you guys so much for watching, for chiming in, for subscribing to my channel. I got quite a few subscribers from my last video, and so I just want to welcome everybody to the all day fam. Here we keep it 100%. You know, this is Red Pill Sports, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to voice my honest opinion. I'm going to give you my honest thoughts. I'm going to tell you, I'm speaking from my background, my strong athletic background of playing football and trying to walk on at the University of Alabama once upon a time, and trying to get into the league and training with many other former players currently not in NFL anymore. But anyway, all I'm telling you guys is that I have a very strong experience, background when it comes to football, and 10 times out of 10 I know what I'm talking about when it comes to NFL football, when it comes to football in general. So without further ado, I just want to keep you guys updated with everything. All right, so I just want to keep it quick with you guys. I just wanted to go over the week 3 preseason games as we're entering into the regular season. I don't know how. I'm sure some of you guys probably don't care too much about this, but I don't know. I wanted to just for data and just to put in my catalog. I just wanted to go ahead and just make a video real quick on the games of week 3. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they beat, and maybe this will give you guys some type of optimism going into the regular season if when you hear about your team won or not for the final week of the season. My team, we lost our last 2 games. I'm still optimistic about playing against the Chiefs. I'm still optimistic because I'm very optimistic about Coach Harbaugh. And here's the thing, I want you guys to understand that some teams that lose preseason games, they're really sometimes there are. It's not the worst case scenario, but it almost is. I guess it's a perspective to look at it, because you're not. Some teams are not. Some teams are playing players who's going to get cut the next day. So it's really, they're like auditioning for the other league. So don't identify how your team is playing at the last week of the preseason on what your team is going to look at going into the regular season. Don't identify that. So maybe your team, maybe on week 3 of this, maybe this past week, last preseason week, your team probably looked terrible. That's more than likely not going to be your team. Some of those guys that are out there playing, especially towards the beginning of the second half, a lot of those guys, some of them probably never going to be on the practice squad, let alone the team. So keep that in mind. So just because your team probably got blown out, it's fine. It's okay. All right. So just acknowledge that, recognize that. Okay. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they beat the Carolina Panthers 19-10. The Giants beat the New England Patriots 42-10. Even though I'm looking forward to seeing how the Giants is going to look. I think the Giants is going to be really good this year. I think they're going to be really good. I like where they're heading now. They're making smart decisions. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Jets 19-17. The Tennessee Titans beat the Minnesota Vikings 23-13. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Atlanta Falcons 31-13. The Chicago Bears beat the Kansas City Chiefs 29-27. The Baltimore Ravens blew out the Washington Commanders 30-3. The Indianapolis Colts blew out the Cincinnati Bengals 41-14. The Los Angeles Rams lost to the Cleveland Browns 17-19. The Houston Texans blew out the Detroit Lions 26-7. The Denver Broncos, they beat the New Orleans Saints 28-19. The Seattle Seahawks, or the Green Bay Packers, blew out. Well, not necessarily blew out, but they beat the Seahawks 20-7. The Miami Dolphins beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 14-6. And the Buffalo Bills beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-19. And the Chargers, they lost, my squad, they lost to the San Francisco 49ers. That was actually a pretty good preseason game. They lost to the 49ers 30. They lost to the 49ers 23-30. And the Cardinals, they beat the Raiders 20-10. And that's it. Okay? So I'll tell you guys this. Teams that I think that are going to submit. With that being said, I gave you guys all the scores of the final preseason games. And we are roughly like 8 games away from the opening season. The teams that I think are going to be good, I think the Chargers obviously is going to be good. I think the Bills and the Buccaneers are going to be good. I think, no, not the Jaguars. I don't think either one of those teams is going to be good. The only Florida team I think is going to be good is the Bucs. I think the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers are going to be good. I think the Denver Broncos is going to be obviously good. I think the Houston Texans and the Detroit Lions. The Lions, they're a little tricky, man. I don't know. They still got a great head coach. So I'm going to say they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be as dominant as they were. I think the Browns is going to be okay, man. I think the Browns is going to be all right. Let me talk about the Browns real quick. I don't understand about Joe Flacco. I mean, listen. You guys got to also take in consideration how a quarterback will perform when he's not under pressure. Joe Flacco, the Browns, they called Joe Flacco in off his couch, off the streets. And Joe Flacco came in, and yes, they went to the playoffs. And I think, they won a playoff game. He did a great job. Did a good job. Played a good job. Did a good job last year. But I want you guys to understand that I don't think Joe Flacco is going to finish this season as the Browns starting quarterback. And I think the Browns know that, hence why they went on and kept Shedeur Sanders, like I told you guys they all were, or they should. They better if they were smart, and they got rid of Dylan. They got rid of Kenny Pickett. They traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders, and they released Tyler Huntley, which I don't know why they brought him in the first place. Maybe they brought Tyler Huntley in for competition for Shedeur, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they brought him in. It was I don't get it. But anyway, I think Shedeur, when this is all said and done, Shedeur is going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And I think the Cleveland Browns know that. I think they know that. I think they want to see if they want to give Dylan Gabriel a shot. I believe when they drafted Dylan Gabriel, Kevin Stefanski, he liked his style of play, and he felt that Dylan Gabriel fits his system very well. But here's the key. Here's the tricky part. Here's the funny thing. Shedeur Sanders, according to a lot of people, and I guess, Kevin Stefanski never really said this, but according to a lot of people, Shedeur Sanders doesn't naturally fit Kevin Stefanski's scheme, coaching style. Shedeur Sanders' quarterback style doesn't fit Kevin Stefanski's coaching style. But so why would the Browns still draft Shedeur? Because they know that Shedeur Sanders is naturally a better quarterback, period, than Dylan Gabriel. Even though they know Dylan Gabriel fits Dylan Gabriel's quarterback style. Because he's very small, so he has to make very quick decisions. He has to be 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. That type of style fits Kevin Stefanski's style of play. And so that's how Ben Johnson coaches his quarterbacks. That's how Kyle Shanahan coaches his quarterbacks. That's how Kevin Stefanski likes his quarterbacks. So, but the Browns still got Shedeur. Shedeur isn't that type of quarterback. 1, 2, 3, boom, 1, 2, 3, boom. He's not that type of quarterback. And so, but they still got him. And they still got him because they know that he's naturally a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel. So when this is all said and done, and they didn't trade him away. They didn't release Shedeur. He's not even on their practice squad. So that should let you guys know. Somebody commented and said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. They're going to release Shedeur after this game." I knew that was. I commented back on this. I commented back on that guy, and I said, and I was like, if the Browns do that, it's going to be their loss, because that'll be the dumbest thing that the Browns has done a lot of dumb things when it comes to quarterbacking. They've done a lot of dumb things when it comes to that franchise in general, especially quarterbacking. So if they were to release Shedeur, that would have been very terrible on their end. Now you're stuck with Dylan Gabriel. Just because he fits your system doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be playing well for the long term. So you guys look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy fits Kyle Shanahan's system perfectly. But you still see he is not good when he doesn't even have the weapons around to help for him to feed off of. He needs a village for him to be able to produce. Don't get me wrong. You still got to go out there and you still got to go out there and distribute the ball and put the ball in your playmakers' hands. That still takes skill. But what happens when your playmakers aren't there? What happens when your team is not able to pay some of these players? What happens when they're trading some of these guys away, or a guy gets injured, etc., etc., etc.? What are you to do now? See, that's the thing. So you can't always look at this quarterback and be like, oh, he fits our system. But is he good? It doesn't really necessarily matter if he fits the system or not, or if you like his style of play. Is the quarterback a great quarterback? Yes or no? Because if he's a great quarterback, he's going to figure it out. He's going to figure out the way. Like Cam Newton said, there's what he said. There's game managers and there's game changers or playmakers. There's field generals and there's game managers. That's the way I look at it. Patrick Mahomes is a field general. You put him in any system, he's going to produce. Justin Herbert, he's a field general. You put him in any system, doesn't matter who's around him, he's going to produce. Lamar Jackson, he's a field general. You put him in any system, doesn't matter who's around him, he's going to produce. Josh Allen, he's a field general. You put him in any system, doesn't matter who's around him, he's going to produce. Any organization, and let me not say system. Let me be more specific. Any organization. When I'm saying system, I'm talking about any organization, any franchise. Josh Allen is going to produce, and that's for all those other four quarterbacks I named. Let me think of anybody else. I don't know about Joe Burrow. Like I've been telling you guys this for the longest on this channel. I don't know about Joe Burrow. I have never seen Joe Burrow play without elite weapons ever. So I think Joe Burrow is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Again, granted, like I said, it still takes elite skill to be able to distribute the ball to your playmakers as a quarterback. So regardless if you got a Terrell Owens and a Jerry Rice, you still got to be able to distribute the ball to your playmakers. So that still takes skill, especially at the NFL level. But let's not get carried away overrating these quarterbacks, saying they're top 5 or one of the best of all time. Calm down, okay? Just calm down. I like rating quarterbacks based on what they can do with the minimal resources around them. That's what I like doing. That's how I think what they should do. So just because a quarterback is not winning, what is he doing? Are you watching the games? Are you analyzing the way the position is being played? I don't care what the score was or if they won the game or not. If you're talking about who's the best quarterback in the NFL, you have to analyze how that quarterback is quarterbacking that position. You can't just sit there and just look at, wins, losses. They win a playoff game, they win a Super Bowl. That is lousy analysis. And I hate when analysts do that, hate when commentators do that, and I hate when fans do that. It's annoying. And I hate that I have to even say that Jalen Hurts he's overrated now. Because you guys are overrating him. He has never shown that he can produce without elite talent around him. He has never shown it. And even when that talent was around him, he was doing absolutely nothing. Not only was he not doing anything, he wasn't playing well. There's a difference between a quarterback not doing anything and not playing well. He wasn't playing well. A.J. Brown even came out and was saying that we got to figure out how we can get this offense together or something like that he was saying. He would not have said that if he had all the faith in the world of Jalen Hurts. He would not have said it. You think any wide receiver would have said that about Patrick Mahomes? Do you think any wide receiver would have said that about Justin Herbert? Do you think any wide receiver would have said that about Josh Allen? Do you think any wide receiver would have said that about Lamar Jackson? No, 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 no. The answer is no. So I want you guys, I want to challenge you guys, when we're going into this NFL season, to stop rating these quarterbacks based on wins and losses and playoff and Super Bowl wins. It's ridiculous. It's a very, very hard position. It's an extremely hard position. It's not the hardest position in all of football. I think I told you guys this, that cornerback is the hardest position of all of football. If you don't agree, I don't care. You're wrong. It is. I played the position. I know how hard that position is. And I was pursuing to be in that position at the highest of the elite level. At first, I started off as a wide receiver. Wide receiver, even with my I was a late bloomer when I played football. And because I didn't play football when I was younger, when I was a kid. I didn't start playing football until my freshman year in high school. For most people, that is way too late. Way, way too late. Because first off, football is very political. And two, when you are playing football in high school, probably over 80% of those players have been playing their entire life. And they already got a starting position, and some of those coaches already know who those players are. So that's another reason why it was very, very hard for me to get tape and for me to find a college and let alone get to the pros. I was still learning the game, and I was still trying to figure things out. And I was finally fighting politics. But with that being said, I put this on myself because even when I stopped playing basketball and I got into football and I first started playing wide receiver, the position came natural to me a little bit. I didn't start my freshman year. I was playing at FC, First Colonial High. It's around the same area where Percy Harvin went to school at. Percy Harvin went to Lansdowne. And Lansdowne and First Colonial High are not too far from each other. And so I was playing around the same year that Percy Harvin was playing. Percy Harvin, I was a freshman. Percy Harvin was a senior. And so I'm actually, which is ironic, because at the same area that I was playing high school at, Percy Harvin was the number one wide receiver in the entire nation. And then I moved. My dad was in the military, and he was from Alabama. So I moved from Virginia Beach to Alabama. It was my sophomore year. I was playing wide receiver, and my coach actually had me starting as a wide receiver for the JV team. And ironically, I'm saying this, I mentioned Percy Harvin because I'm thinking about this because at that time, Julio Jones was the number one wide receiver in the entire nation. And he was in Alabama. He was playing at Foley. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. But I was starting as a wide receiver, still as a late bloomer for the JV team. I made the dumbest decision that I could possibly make, and I regret this to this day. Because I would have got tape. And I was actually playing very well, especially during spring camp. During winter camp, because we had winter camp too. Like, this was Alabama. Alabama takes football very, very serious. So we had winter camp. We was running drills in the basketball gym in January, in December. You know, in January. So I was with the ones running that system. My coach was drilling routes into me, and I was balling up the DB in the basketball gym, catching passes, and my coach was going to have me start JV my sophomore year. I decided to go to my coach and tell him that I wanted to go to cornerback. That was one of the worst decisions that I ever made playing football, and here we are now. It's a very, very hard position to play, and you have to be exceptionally athletic to play that position, or if you're not, you have to be crucially fundamentally sound to play cornerback. Because if you don't, and you have to be very, very smart to play that position, if you aren't, you're going to get exposed. You are going to get exposed. That is not a position for somebody who was a late bloomer, who's first starting off, who's not naturally athletic, to be playing. I had a really good friend who was from New Orleans, and he I'm not gonna say his name, but really great friend. He was a really, really great cornerback in high school. He ran a 4.2, and how he played the position, he made it look so cool. And I don't know, I wanted to do it. I thought it was gonna be fun, and I never played it down. All throughout my high school, I was fighting to try to play. Never did. So when I got out of college, when I got out of high school, I still was pursuing to be cornerback, and I didn't have any tape. It was very hard for me to get on a team. Now I was trying to walk on at Alabama. I don't know what I was thinking, because I'm like, Alabama's DB university at the time when Nick Saban was there, and Nick Saban is known for coaching DBs. And if you don't got any tape, bro, you're going to try to go into the number one university in the entire state, country, nation, and it's just not going to happen. So it was just very bad decisions that I was making. My skills did eventually improve, and they did get better because and I saw they were, because I was going against really elite wide receivers, and I was shutting them down. But it wouldn't matter. It was just one-on-ones. I didn't have any tape. The coaches didn't know. It was just training. And so, and I was getting older. When you're playing football, I don't care how great you are, time is not on your side. Age is not on your side when you're playing football. Quarterback is the only position. It's the only position in all of football, when you get to the NFL, that now coaches and the organizations, they convince themselves that when a guy is getting older, he can be getting better. Tom Brady has changed everybody's thought process on that now. So, parents, I'll say this: if you have a child who's playing and you possibly would like them to go all the way, and let's say if they're not naturally talented too, maybe not naturally athletic, put your kid in quarterback. I would recommend for you to put your kid in quarterback, let them blossom into that position. But I also recommend this too. Have your kid play multiple sports. Don't just drill football into your son. Please don't do that. It's not going to do very well. It's not going to work out very well for them as they get older. It's not. Have them. I always thought this, because I played multiple sports too, but I always thought this, and this is why I was naturally good at wide receiver, and I should have stuck with it, because I played basketball prior to that. And it was just very natural for me to find separation and get up and jump and catch the ball, or even if I was covered, it was still like really natural for me to find the open space and catch the ball. And so I'm regretting right now, but it's whatever. But what I'm basically saying is, when you have your child play multiple different sports, they can be able to have their muscles can develop better, and they can just have that coordination and everything, and they can just be more primed and more skilled and more trained, and then they can be able to pick whatever sport they want to play now, because now they play so many different sports, and that skillfulness and the athleticism is naturally blossoming into your kid. It's all biometrics. It's a lot of different things that goes along with this. But what I'm basically saying is, it does your kid wonders when you put them in as many sports as possible. Like, keep them active in all sports. Don't just freaking focus on one sport. That is, especially football, that is ridiculous. I see parents do that. It's crazy that you do that. Don't do that. So, I went down I forgot where I was at, but I think I was talking about the Browns and I was talking about Joe Flacco. But, yeah, I was saying that quarterback is the hardest. Quarterback isn't the hardest position, but cornerback is. Well, I'm saying, I'm speaking from experience, but that's that. I can't remember what I was getting at. But also, let's move on. I'm talking about teams that I think that's going to be good this year. We all know about the Bengals. The Bengals is going to be the Bengals. They're going to have an elite offense. They're going to have elite offense. Terrible defense. Their defense might be a little better because they got Shamar Stewart now and Troy Hendrickson. So the defense might be a little bit better. Let me tell you this. One thing I know about defense is that when you have a great pass rush, it can really give your defense a chance. Always. Because a great pass rusher, they disrupt a great offense. Great pass rushers are disruptors. So when you think of somebody like Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett, somebody like that, Aaron Darnold, freaking one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time, if not the greatest defensive tackle of all time, they were disruptors. You don't need elite defense around them because they disrupt the main position holder on the opposite side of the ball, holding the ball. They're disrupting him. So where that ball is going, they're disrupting the path, the whole plan, the whole play. That on offense, that play is only alive with that where that ball is going to go. So a great pass rusher is going to can disrupt that. The whole play, everything is done. It's hell for offensive coordinators. It's hell. So keep that in mind. So the Bengals might be a little. They probably can be some trouble for a lot of teams because they got Shamar Stewart now and they got Troy, and Troy led the NFL in sacks last year. I don't know if he did it 2 years in a row. Did he do it 2 years in a row? I know for a fact they did it last year. And I know for a fact they got a great pass rusher, and let's see what Shamar will be. But with Troy, Shamar can just feed off Troy. So, yeah, so the Bengals defense might not be that bad. Your defensive backs doesn't have to be that great anymore. They don't have to be that good anymore because you have a great pass rush. You see what I'm saying? So, the Bengals, I don't know now. The Bengals are going to be good. They can win a lot. They probably can win more games than they did last year. They certainly probably can. That's why these pass rushers get paid a lot of money, man. That's why Myles Garrett got paid the money he got paid. That's why Micah Parsons, he's able to get as much money as he possibly can when Jerry Jones decides to pay him. If Jerry Jones decides to pay him, he can go. Micah Parsons can go somewhere else. I don't know that whole situation, but you guys get what I'm saying. Get where I'm getting at. The Ravens, the Commanders, they both are going to be good. Bears, Chiefs, I think they're both going to be good. Atlanta Falcons, Dallas Cowboys, I don't think Dallas is going to be good at all. But I do think the Falcons is going to be very good. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Falcons. The Falcons are going to be really good. They are. And they got my boy Drake London over there. Fight on, USC alum. Let's move on. But, Michael Penix. I like Michael Penix. I like him. I liked him coming out of college. I always say this. I keep saying this. That injury kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. But if he can stay durable, if he can hold up, man, y'all watch out for that boy Michael Penix, man. Y'all watch out for him. Like, for real. He gonna be nice. He gonna be nice. I'm for real, man. I'm looking forward to Michael Penix. Another young quarterback that I'm looking forward to, Cam Ward, man. I think Cam Ward is gonna be a beast, man. I love Cam Ward's discipline. I love his self-control. I like his poise. I like his intelligence. I like his maturity. That's where I was trying to get. I like how mature he freaking is, man. I'm big on Cam Ward. And the Vikings, they're going to be good. The Eagles, obviously, they're going to be good. The Jets, I never liked Justin Fields. I don't think the Jets are going to be anywhere near good. The Giants, they're going to be really good. I think I already said that. The Patriots, I think they're going to be average. Let's see here. Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're going to be average. Cardinals. The Carolina Panthers, I think the Carolina Panthers is going to be a sleeper. I think they're going to be really good. I believe in their quarterback. I believe in that team. I like their running back. I think their defense is going to be pretty solid. I'm feeling the Panthers. I don't like their organization. I don't like their ownership. So that could affect them. But I do like Bryce Young. I've liked him coming out of college. I liked him when he was playing at Bama. I think Bryce Young is going to be nice. And he played good last year when he came back from losing his starting role to Andy Dalton, was it? Yeah, to Andy Dalton. So, that concludes this session. I will be back very soon. I'm aiming to do a video a day for you guys. That's what I'm pushing towards. I want this channel to grow, and I'm going to keep focusing on putting out more valuable content and how to make these videos more valuable for you guys, and how to just really talk some great football. Great. Right now, all I do is talk about NFL, but eventually I will keep you guys updated on other sports, and yeah. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Oh yeah, and I also want to look into talking about other stuff as far as sports technology, keeping you guys up to date on what certain franchises and certain technologies is going to be instilled into football or other sports. I think it's a very interesting topic to talk about, because technology does play a huge role in how professional sports is functioning. And with AI now, I saw that the NFL has done something with AI, and now they're going to start using AI in the league. So I think those are fun things to talk about, interesting things to talk about. So I have very big plans for this channel, but it starts with me being consistent with doing consistent videos, and also I'm going to start writing newsletters, because I do like to write, and so it starts with me start writing consistent newsletters at least once a week, and pushing out at least once a week a long form video, if not every day, that I aim to do. So that's why I do those shorts, and so just to keep you guys updated on random things that's going on in the NFL. A player getting traded, or a player getting signed, or my thoughts, just random thoughts, or what do you guys think about this, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I do those shorts. Just to keep the momentum going. All right. So I thank you guys so much for your support, for your watching. If there's anything you want me to talk about, if there's anything sports related or NFL related that you want me to talk about, please just comment in the comment section, and just let me know, and I will look over it, and I will see if it serves this channel and other subscribers any value, and I will consider doing it. So yeah, you guys let me know what you guys think about your teams. If you think I'm wrong or right about a certain player or a certain team or a certain position, please let me know. I have some people who's chiming in talking about certain things, disagreeing with me in the comment section, and I comment back, and I tell them I stand my ground on what I'm talking about. So yeah, so thank you guys so much, man. I'll be back very soon. Peace out all day.